Ah, time travelers, you caught me. And welcome to another episode. If you enjoy learning about history, one event at a time, from around the world, then don't forget to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today we're going to start out in 1795, when the National Convention, the assembly that governed France during the pivotal period of the Revolution, was dispersed. 1813 is when British and U.S. troops clashed in the Battle of Chattanooga during the War of 1812. In 1825, after some 8 years of construction, the Erie Canal, which connects the Great Lakes with New York City via the Hudson River at Albany, officially opened. It successfully propelled New York into a major commercial center and encouraged canal construction throughout the United States. That actually makes me think of when my brother, his girlfriend, myself, and two of our other friends went to Niagara Falls, which is up past the Hudson River and the Erie Canal. Though I think the Niagara Falls actually does connect to the Hudson River. I could be completely wrong about that. Because I kind of sucked at geography. 1881 is when a feud between the Earp brothers, Wyatt, Virgil, and Morgan, and an outlaw gang led by Ike Clanton escalated into a celebrated gunfight at the OK Corral in Tombstone, Arizona territory. That actually makes me think of the TV series Wynonna Earp, they actually did a spin-off of that. I actually want to rewatch Wynonna Earp to watch the spin-off, because the spin-off looks like it has all the original characters. Anyway, 1905 is when St. Petersburg Soviet Workers' Council was formed during the Russian Revolution of 1905. 11 years later, in 1916, Francois Mitterrand, who served 2 terms from 1981 to 1995 as President of France, and was the country's first socialist to hold the office, was born. 2 years later, in 1918, Persian General Erich Landerhof was forced to resign by Emperor William II on Prince Maximilian's advice in an effort to establish an armistice agreement. On this day in 1955, a continental law of perpetual neutrality in Austria was promulgated. That was a hard word to say, even though some might say that it's an easy word. Anyway, 1958 is when America's first jet airliner, the Boeing 707, entered service for Pan American World Airways. In 1970, following an absence of more than 3 years, American boxer Muhammad Ali returned to the ring defeating Jerry Quarry. Ali had been barred from fighting after he refused to be inducted into the U.S. Army during the Vietnam War. On this day in 1979, South Korean President Park Chung-hee was assassinated by his lifelong friend Kim Jae-kul, head of the Korean Central Intelligence Agency, who was sentenced to death for his actions. 1984 is when the action thriller The Terminator was released in the United States. Hugely successful, it made actor Arnold Schwarzenegger a star, and established director James Cameron as a bankable filmmaker. 4 years later, in 1988, an overcrowded ferry carrying some 300 persons capsized and sinks in strong currents in the estuary of the Meghna River in southern Bangladesh. At least 200 persons were missing and feared drowned. 6 years before the turn of the century, Israel and Jordan make peace. 5 years after the turn of the century, the Chicago White Sox defeated the Houston Aeros to win the team's first World Series title since 1917. Our final event happened in 2009. In western Afghanistan, a Chinook twin-rotor helicopter crashes after a firefight with Taliban militants, killing 7 American soldiers and 3 U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration agents. Elsewhere in Afghanistan, 4 American servicemen were killed when 2 helicopters crashed. Okay, and with that, we return to 2024 and our current history. Now, I'm going to do the 74th animal fact, and I think they're the same as yesterday. If they are, please forgive me. I'm trying to keep the numbers and the facts the same as the page that I'm pulling them from. With that being said, the Patou de Gois is thought to be the smallest spider in the world at just 0.37 millimeter. This Colombian spider is about 1/5 the size of the head of a pin. And now, the same goes for the science fact. Let's head into the science lab. Dogs tilt their head when you speak to them to better pinpoint familiar words. Your dog is tilting your head when you speak to pinpoint where noises are coming from more quickly. This is done out of more accurately familiar words such as walkies, and helps them to better understand the tone of your voice. If your dog doesn't tilt its head that often as those with shorter muzzles might, it's because it relies less on sound and more on sight. With that, I'll see you all in the next one. As always, if you enjoy learning different historical events, don't forget to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and turn on all notifications.